Jak and Daxter is a series of video games that consumed a huge part of my childhood. Well, that and another game series, however, let's not sidetrack to them, not just yet anyway. In today's video we will be delving deep into the Jak series. However, I will just note that Jak X will not be included as part of this video, as it would not be fair to compare it to the other three games, as the gameplay is way different. Whilst on the topic of Jak X though, I will just quickly say I do adore this game to death, and I do think it has a really gripping story. It's a fun, fast, yet also unique style of racing gameplay that feels very fresh. Okay, sorry for that slight distraction. Let's get started on the trilogy, starting with Jak and Daxter, the Precursor Legacy. Jak 1 provides each player with a unique experience depending on the style of player. The game gives you a beautiful world that is split into 4 different hub areas that all branch off to their own levels, all having new themes, whether that be new enemy types or environmental changes. Effectively, the game is one giant collectathon. You collect Precursor orbs that can be used to trade to different villagers in return for power cells. These power cells are required to progress further into the game, however you are not needed to get them up. Which leads me back to the game playing differently depending on the player, because whole levels can either be completely missed or optionally skipped. Of course, if you are a completionist, like myself, you'll aim and succeed in getting all of 101 power cells. Yeah, 101. Fuck me. Sadly, the reward is rather lackluster. Effectively, it's just a cutscene of the characters looking into a light, to which us as the player never actually gets to see.
We'll only open if we fill all 100 holes with power cells.
We're heroes, remember? We have 100 power cells.
It's so beautiful.
By the Precursors.
But fear not, that is all explained in Jak 2. Just because this game is a collectathon platformer, it does not mean that the story is lacking. In fact, the story is definitely there and it is extremely strong. It's a story that starts with trying to change Daxter back, evolves into stopping the only people that can actually change him back from taking over the planet. Naughty Dog went with the decision of making Jak a mute. Well, kind of. He never says a single word, but he does make a whole bunch of different attacking and jumping sounds. Not forgetting the iconic. I mean, I'm down for this, because for the style of game, it allows more of a personal attachment to the character, or at least it did for both childhood and present day versions of me. Plenty of times where I'd be talking for Jak and make my own adventures as I was going along. It was a ton of fun. Besides, where Jak might not talk, you can always rely on Daxter. He'll always fill in with his comedic responses to the current situation.
Hey, baby! What do you say you and I go cruising on this A-Grav Zoomer? You don't know what you're missing.
Oh, and Jak 1 introduces Light Ego, but we'll touch more on that way later. Okay, wow, Jak 1 really kicked the series off to a strong start. I guess they'll just replicate that for another 2 adventures, am I right? No, you're wrong. Actually, whilst core mechanics such as the jump, punch, spin and roll are still very present, Naughty Dog decided to risk everything and radically change their series. Without cracking into the story just yet, allow me to explain. Jak 2.
Fast winds before their roots could give us life. As a sage of considerable years, I have known only one such great ordeal. Yet the hero it created was a champion for all time. Today's the big day, Jak.
Okay, so gone are the power cells. Gone are collecting the hundreds of Precursor orbs around every other corner. Instead, they're now hidden, which I actually find really fun. There are now missions, like actual structured set missions. Jak has guns!
Want to see what that baby can do? Try the gun course outside. We've done what you've asked. Now when do we see the shadow?
Oh, and Dark Jak!
You do well to rid the world of this metal scourge. As a reward, I grant you a dark power.
Yeah, that's a lot of changes, right? But does it actually work? Jak 2 is set not long after Jak 1, which is good. The heroes are thrown into what is believed to be the future, where Jak is instantly taken prisoner, whilst Daxter runs off to have his own side game, the cheeky bastard. But let's not get into that side game right now, please. This is about the best game from the trilogy. While Daxter is a really good game, we won't go into that. Okay, as I was saying, Jak is tortured for a huge amount of time, continuously being pumped with dark eco that is creating Dark Jak, who is such a fantastic idea, might I say.
Dark eco injection cycle complete. Bio readings nominal and unchanged.
Well, nothing.
Dark Jak absolutely destroys enemies and is a really fun addition to the gameplay. Like, he makes it feel really fresh and unique.
That was cool! Do it again.
Speaking about changes to the gameplay, as previously mentioned, Jak now has guns. There are 4 different weapon types, all of which have a different colour icon, which is handy. The best weapon of the 4 being the yellow, which combined with the spin-shoot combo will more often than not be used in almost all of the battles / engagements that you get into. The map this time is huge, and yet it still has no loading screens. There's double the characters that there were in the first one. This time the characters actually get some development, unlike in Jak 1, where they simply need your help the once.
Hey, Sugar Plum. Well, what you got that's, hot?
Play along, and I may be able to get my hands on a few secrets.
Ooh, I love undercover work, baby. But, 2 can work better than 1.
Other things that Jak 2 has to offer are races and an actual freaking hoverboard that you can take with you for the rest of your adventure. Jak 2 is definitely aimed for a higher age than the first one was, as it noticeably has a darker tone. But that's not all. I couldn't move on to Jak 3 without talking about how goddamn difficult Jak 2 is. One mission can be a walk in the park, whereas the next mission suddenly spikes with super difficulty. Like, it's not fair, and that's the game's biggest flaw. Not the actual difficulty, but the inconsistency with it. And that's a big no from me. I don't like that it keeps on spiking. Jak 3 time now, and thankfully Naughty Dog decided not to make too many drastic changes this time. It appears that despite saving all of Haven City in the second game, all those people's lives who you'd saved don't really care about yours, and they decide to banish Jak to the wasteland. What a massive fuck you that is to Jak. However stupid it might sound or be for them to banish Jak into the wasteland, I actually quite like this because it throws the player into a brand new area while still creating a story around it. Jak 3 throws you with vehicles as well. Actual vehicles, not those Zoomers found in the second game. However, they are still very present, but real vehicles this time. I guess they were preparing you for Jak X. Returning features, of course, are Jak's basic attacks, his weapons, and even the jetboard, after a couple of missions anyway. On the topic of Jak's weapons, all 4 weapons from Jak 2 are present, now with extra upgrades. There are 2 extra upgrades for each weapon, however. Just like Jak 2, the scattergun is still the OP and will always be used in every single battle, especially now as the bullets bounce off the walls, with 1 upgrade creating even more of a shit show when you spin/shoot. Okay, so 2 games in, and finally, in Jak 3, you actually get to play as Daxter. It's not very long, it's very short, but it is very fun. It happens in a couple of levels, not for too long like I just said, but it's still unique, and people have been crying for playing as Daxter for a while now, so at last, you finally get to play as him, and it adds a new style of gameplay, and I really like it. Dark Jak is still very present. However, remember in Jak 1 that light eco used for taking out Gel and Maya? Well, yeah, that plays into this story, granting Jak with light Jak powers.
Me, brave one, and once again your heroism shall be rewarded. I give you a new light power, one which will help you reach new places. Places only in your dreams.
Light Jak has many powers, such as the ability to slow down time, wings that allow him to glide over gaps, and a shield. I bloody love Light Jak, he's fantastic, he's so much fun. Overall, Jak 3 took everything wrong from Jak 2 and fixed it. Gone are the difficulty spikes, and that's a needed relief. Haven City is still there with extended new areas, and a giant desert is playable with vehicles, with guns. What could be better? Okay, so here comes the part that you all clicked on the video for. But just before, I need to remind you all that this is my personal opinion. If you do not agree with me, you're free to tell me why not in a mature manner. If you think a certain Jak game is the best, and I don't pick it as my own, then I say it again, that's fine. Let me know why you disagree, but please say it in a polite way. Let's spread love and not hate. But let me know in the comments down below. With that out of the way, I'm just going to say it. My favourite Jak and Daxter game is Jak 3. It would be Jak 1, but once you've collected everything, there's nothing you can do. In Jak 3, you have the whole wasteland to mess around in. You have both dark and light Jak to play with, and that's really enjoyable. To be honest, it's probably the order that I was introduced to these games that's led to this decision. Because when I first got my PS2 as a kid, I was given Jak 1 with it, and I loved it. And then years later for my birthday, I received Jak X. And that's crazy, I know, from going from Jak 1 to Jak X. But it's not my fault. I still remember screaming when Jak first spoke because I was gobsmacked. Not long after getting X, my sister got home. She went out with my nan one day and she got Jak 3. And I looked at the box of Jak and Daxter just stood in this wasteland, and I was amazed. I had no idea it was before X. Because obviously I was really young, I didn't even know, I just knew that it was still Jak and Daxter, and it was a brand new game for me. So I booted it up, and I loved it. I was stuck on it for hours, that's all I was playing, Jak 3. I was just messing around. Once I'd done the story, I was making my own adventures. To be honest, it wasn't until 2 years ago when I got my PS Vita and the Jak trilogy that I actually played Jak 2 properly for the first time. Yeah, I'd watched YouTube videos and cutscenes. I never actually got to play it myself till, I guess it was too late. That wraps up the video then. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, then please drop a like on this video and maybe consider subscribing. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section down below and give me your own list. What do you rate the Jak trilogy? Hey, if you want to add X and Daxter in, go ahead. Let me know down below in the comment section. But please, I do read every single one of these comments, so try to be kind. Okay everyone, thank you again. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now.
Damn, he got away.
See you later, Mechanator. Jak!